Adab, good evening. We are today celebrating the magic, the magician that we knew as Kaifi Azmi. कैफी साहब ने फरमाया था कि कभी जुमूद कभी सिर्फ इंतशार सा है. जुमूद इज डेडलॉक एंड इंतशार इज केओस. कभी जुमूद कभी सिर्फ इंतशार सा है, जहां को अपनी तबाही का इंतज़ार सा है. मनु की मछली न कश्ती नूह और ये फ़िज़ा कि क़तरे क़तरे में तूफ़ान बेकरार सा है. और कोई तो सूझ चुकाए, कोई तो ज़िम्मा ले, कोई तो सूझ चुकाए, कोई तो ज़िम्मा ले उस इनकलाब का जो आज तक उधार सा है. We are absolutely delighted to have with us today Javed Akhtar Sahab to launch this fantastic volume on Kaifi, so eminently put together by my friend Shudip Sen. अब मुझे इजाज़त दीजिए कि मैं उस ज़ुबान में भी गुफ्तगू करूं जो कैफ़ी साहब की और हमारी और आपकी ज़ुबान थी, अंग्रेज़ी के अलावा. So before we enter into our conversations formally, may I request Javed Sahab to please launch the book and say a few words, and then we will have our conversation.
First of all, I must appreciate the way this book was tied, only with a ribbon, and there was no paper wrapped around it. So one knew what one is releasing. Otherwise, generally, you come to know after that great exercise because they tighten the paper around it, which is almost a challenge. Let's see how you open it. So, I must say, I mean, it may sound a bit immodest, but the fact is that I'm not talking of my quality, I'm talking of a situation which gave me this opportunity to see so many major writers and poets from a very close quarter. Progressive writers movement that had started in 1936, it was across languages. It was not of any particular language of India, but as a matter of fact, in 1934, if I remember correctly, that was 24th of November, when some young writers met in London in a restaurant, Jyotirma Ghosh, Anna Bhau Sathe, Sajjad Zahir, Mulk Raj Anand, and they talked about literature and poetry and what is needed today and how poetry and literature can contribute towards a society which was under the regime of British colonialism, a society that had feudals, where there was exploitation from the imperial forces, exploitation from indigenous maliks and landlords and so on. And then they decided to start a movement. They took a little time in developing a constitution, which was basically done by Sajjad Zahir, approved by others. Then they came to India, and in 1936, to be precise, on 13th of April, in Lucknow, they had the first conference, presided over a giant of a writer, Munshi Premchand, who was perhaps the strongest bridge between Hindi and Urdu, blessed by Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. His message had come, and when Munshi Premchand addressed the audience, he said that today we don't need love stories and fantasies, but we want literature, we want novels, short stories and poetry that will create awareness in the listeners or readers. Awareness against social injustice, awareness against foreign bondage and so on. Women empowerment and everything. They were really forward-looking liberal people. Kaifi Saab belongs to the second generation of those writers, poets. Like the first generation was Faiz, Majaz, Jazbi, Ahmad Nadeem Qasmi in Urdu, Krishan Chandra, Ran Singh Bedi. I think Majroo and Kaifi were some 8 to 10 years younger than them, but very quickly these young writers also joined this movement, and they had dedicated their pen, their poetry, their talent to social change. And all their lives they wrote about social injustice, women empowerment. Kaifi has a very, very powerful poem called Aurat, written in 40s, and even today it is not outdated, even today, after so many years, or 70, 75 years. All of them were the soldiers of this army. I have been very fortunate because I was born in that clan. It had become one major clan. My father, Janisar Akhtar, was also one of the initial members, and he was also from the same age group of Majaz and Faiz and so on. So all these people, so often people ask me, when you have seen Shabana for the first time? Or when did you meet Kaifi Sahab? I don't know. I really don't know when I saw Shabana for the first time. I don't know when I met Kaifi Sahab for the first time. Because when I was born, Kaifi Sahab was there. And he was there like an uncle in that clan. When perhaps I started understanding, quickly Shabana was born, and maybe I saw her when she was 6 months old and I was 4.5. Maybe I saw her when she was 1 and I was 5. I don't know. So I have no memory when I had seen all these people for the first time, because that is where I was born, where they were around. They were the part of the scene. But you know, in your childhood, in your adolescence, you are glamorized by their popularity. They were extremely popular poets. And particularly Kaifi Sahab had a very handsome personality. He had a very effective voice, the way dramatically he used to recite his poem. So he was kind of a cult figure for us, in spite of this nearness. But when I grew a little more, when I was in my teens, then I started understanding things much more than what I could gather when, as long as I was in single-digit age. Although I knew them, and I remembered poetry even at that time, when I was not even 10, because it was all around. Recently somebody has asked me to write about Kaifi Sahab and his poetry and what was my impression. He was a powerful person, and that power can be seen in his poetry also. So I said that when I read his poems, I feel if these poems would not have been poems, but sculptures, then I see huge, big, larger than life sculptures of bronze. They are not soft, they are impressive, they are big, they are powerful. And that is the beauty of his poetry, that he says whatever he says with such conviction and power that it affects you. Unlike many other poets, different poets have their different wavelength, their different sur. They may say somebody like Faiz, a great poet, would say the same thing perhaps much more gently and in a more soft and romantic language, but not Kaifi. He would call a spade a spade. And that is his power. And that is why he was an extremely, not only a good poet, but an extremely popular poet. Nowadays it becomes very difficult to be good and popular.
Both.
It is a matter of a choice nowadays. So, but he had both the qualities.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, thank you very much. You would now realize that there could have been no one better than Javed Sahab to launch a book on Kaifi Sahab.
I don't know about them, but I am convinced.
जिगर के क्या दो शेर हैं जावेद साहब की, इश्क में लाजवाब हैं हम लोग, इश्क में लाजवाब हैं हम लोग, महताब आफताब हैं हम लोग, हम पे नाजिल हुआ सहीफ़े इश्क, साहिबाने किताब हैं हम लोग. तो आप उसी सिलसिले को लेके जो है आगे आप भी चल रहे हैं. Shudip, your beautiful compendium actually opens, your introduction opens with the first line of the poem that Javed Saab just quoted, औरत. और ये शुरू ही यहीं से होती है. आपके opening words हैं, उठ मेरी जान मेरे साथ ही चलना है तुझे. And you translate it as, rise my beloved, with me you must walk along. And of course you give a personal reason for Aurat, and which is, and I've read your book, you know, which is that your mother used to recite this interestingly at Durga Puja celebrations in Delhi's Chitranjan Park area when you were a child. So much as I may sound a novice, a fresh journalist trying to interview a celebrity, and I'll take that risk, I want to ask you, for somebody like you, who grew up in a traditional Bengali household, why Kefi?
Precisely because I grew up in a traditional Bengali family. Our tradition is not very indifferent from the tradition Javed Saab is talking about. In fact, it almost mirrors culturally and intellectually. A Bengali household was a very difficult household to grow up in because there were all these incredible centripetal and centrifugal forces that you had to live up to. You have to be good in painting, you have to be good in business, you have to be good in singing, you have to be good in poetry, you have to, of course, be good in matters of practicality, which is engineering, doctor. तो कितना कुछ करोगे आप? And if you're a man, at least at the time, growing up in that particular era, and I'm relatively young, I think, but still India, hasn't changed that much. You were talking about when the foundings of the progressive writers movement were founded. Sadly, the India I see is probably even more anarchic and archaic than how it used to be then. We are in a reverse mode. So my mother, who knew Kafi Saab's poetry by heart, as she did Rabindranath Tagore, as she did Faiz, because it was something that, we all sort of, poetry to me came through osmosis. We lived it. We knew our poems by heart. I mean, even now, Shakespeare and Milton, these are poems I sort of remember by heart because the essence and the blood and the flesh of poetry is A, rhythm, B, the mnemonics, which is memory. So why does in poetry do you have rhythm and syntax? It's actually to aid memory. It's the repetitive quality. The first forms of literature was poetry, and it was oral. And the reason it was oral and it was poetry was because you can learn it by heart and it passes down from generation to generation. Beowulf, which is the first written example of poetry, was finally written down, but it went through so many transitions because it's like Chinese whispers. The poems over generations change. Sometimes the characters change, much like, say, Ramayana and Mahabharata. In the Southeast Asia, there are variants of Ramayana and Mahabharata, equally legitimate. Now, the reason my mother read out Aurat was very unglamorous. There was this bunch of men in the room. This is during Durga Puja. I think the conversation was very, very heated, as it usually is. It was either politics or cricket, failing which it was about food. And my mother was quite tired of it, and she just said, when are these men going to shut up? And she just stormed in and started reciting Aurat. And I was completely transfixed, it just changed my life. My mother, in this sort of baritonous voice, in this tate shari, very traditional looking lady, holding forth. What can you say? That's Kafi Saab. How many women have not been in love, including my mother, with Kafi Saab? I think there's this wonderful generosity of spirit, there's this generosity of attraction, there's a generosity of use of language. ये जो तहजीब चीज़ें हैं, जो अदा हैं, आजकल लोग भूल गए हैं. Poetry is not a machine. It's the right combination of the heart and the head. So we are living in very sort of asynchronic, kind of anachronistic time. So that's really what happened. My mother read out the poem. I, pretty much learnt it by heart because she recited it. And at some point, and the irony is, of course, I've never physically met Kaifi Saab.
Oh, really?
Yes. Sadly. I've had correspondence with him, completely by chance.
Which is there in the book.
Which is there in the book. You know, I have, you know, when he wrote a letter to me, well, what happened was, this is way, way back in Bangladesh. I met Shabana at a particular event, and I was young. She was a star. What do you go up and say? I like your movies. How banal is that? You know, what do you say to someone who's the chief guest? So I just said, you know, when I was confronted, you know, because it was a big room and a situation was such that I was introduced to her, I said, you know, I have this book called The Poetry of Kaifi Azmi, translated by Pritish Nandi, which was out of print. He said, really? मेरे पास तो copy नहीं है, आप मेरे को दे दो. Now, if a star is asking, give me the copy, you don't have much of a choice. You have to say yes. But I said, you know, I'm going to hold my ground. This was my mother's copy. It was given to me. It's my copy. It's my poetry. I own it, even though it's your father's thing. So I said, I'm happy to make 2 photocopies with one request. If you could ask your father to send me one of the photocopies back with a little signature. Is that okay? And that was that. And then no contact for many, many years until I get a packet with the photocopy with a letter from Kaifi Saab. And properly appreciate. I had sent a copy of my book, of course, as a young poet does. And he was so generous, extraordinarily generous. I thought, my God, what is happening? So this awe is out of not just because someone commands respect, but because there's some inner stillness in that person that radiates out of a personality, even though I haven't met him. I've only met him on the page. Of course, I've read most of what he's written, and of course, seen video footages of him reciting. My God, he is mesmeric. When he stands up and opens his mouth, all the mosques and all the mandirs and all the girjaghars stop and listen to the azan that he creates. Ut meri jaan, tere saath chalna hai, mere saath chalna hai tujhe. And it's just magical.
That's true.
But anyway, I think my mother did a very feminist thing. She just wanted to shut men up and just say, just listen to some good poetry.
That's how it started.
That's how it started.
So,
Now let's come to the pudding.
ये मैं औरत के चंद बन पढ़े देता हूँ. ये आप पढ़ेंगे?
नहीं, आप पढ़िए.
जी. ये इनका तर्जुमा नहीं, किसी और का है, औरत वाला जो है. जी. तो नहीं, मैं 2 बंद औरत के इसलिए पढ़ना चाह रहा हूँ ताकि आपको एक फ्लेवर भी मिल जाए. लंबी नज़म है. और फिर मैं एक सवाल है जावेद साहब से उसके बाद कि उठ मेरी जान, मेरे साथ ही चलना है तुझे. मैं सिर्फ चंद बंद पढ़े दे रहा हूँ. कदर अब तक तेरी तारीख ने जानी ही नहीं, तुझ में शोले भी हैं बस अश्क फिशानी ही नहीं. तू हकीकत भी है दिलचस्प कहानी ही नहीं, तेरी हस्ती भी है एक चीज़ जवानी ही नहीं. अपनी तारीख का उन्वान बदलना है तुझे, उठ मेरी जान, मेरे साथ ही चलना है तुझे. तू फलातून और अरस्तू है, तू ज़ुहरा परवीं, तेरे कब्जे में है गर्दूं, तेरी ठोकर में ज़मीं. हाँ उठा जल्द उठा पाए मुकद्दर से जबीं, मैं भी रुकने का नहीं, वक्त भी रुकने का नहीं. लड़खड़ाएगी कहाँ तक कि संभलना है तुझे, उठ मेरी जान, मेरे साथ ही चलना है तुझे. मैं ये जानना चाह रहा हूँ आपसे कि जहाँ तक कैफी साहब का सवाल है, वैसे मैं ये भी अर्ज़ करता चलूँ कि मुझे ये शर्फ हासिल है. आई हैव हैड द सिंगुलर ऑनर एंड प्रिविलेज ऑफ सीइंग कैफी साहब, ऑफ हियरिंग हिम रिसाइट at मुशायराज in Delhi. कितनी बार शंकर शाद मुशायरे में, from when I was a child till when I was in college and later as a young lawyer, रात को आधी रात के बाद सिर्फ इस वजह से बैठे रहे कि अभी कैफी साहब पढ़ेंगे. मुशायरे की तहजीब ये होती है कि सबसे सीनियर शायर जो है सबसे बाद में पढ़ता है. आजकल हम लोग निस्फ शब के बाद, आधी रात के बाद जावेद साहब को सुनने के लिए रुकते हैं. कैफी साहब को भी वैसे ही हम लोग बहुत बहुत दिनों तक हम लोग रुके रहे, सालों तक हम लोग ने ये किया. मेरा सवाल ये है सर कि जो प्रोग्रेसिव राइटर्स मूवमेंट के शायर थे या राइटर्स थे, उन सब ने जो है कुछ ना कुछ फेमिनिज्म की शायरी, कुछ औरतों के हुकूक़ की बात करी है, लिबरेशन की बात करी है. कैफी साहब के बारे में तो खैर ये बात भी सही है कि जो उनका फेमिनिज्म था वो उनकी ज़िंदगी में भी वो फेमिनिज्म था, उनकी चाहे उनकी बीवी हों या उनकी बेटी हों, बहू हों, वो सब में जो है वो उसी तरह से पावरफुल विमेन थी, वो हैं। लेकिन क्या आप इस बात को मजाज ने जो है तेरे माथे पे ये आंचल बहुत ही खूब है लेकिन, या साहिर कि वो तू मैं समझता हूँ तकद्दुस को तमद्दुन का फरेब, तुम रसूमात को ईमान बनाती क्यों, इस तरह की बातें हर प्रोग्रेसिव राइटर ने, हर प्रोग्रेसिव शायर ने की। तो क्या एक प्रोग्रेसिव शायर के लिए, प्रोग्रेसिव राइटर के लिए ये ज़रूरी था कि वो विमेन लिबरेशन की बात करे? वॉज इट फैशनेबल टू टॉक अबाउट विमेन लिबरेशन?
Yeah, whatever you do in your life, thinking that this is your duty, uh, it doesn't capture people's imagination because you are doing it because it's your duty. When you feel that it is your right to talk about it, then your emotion, your feeling, your being, your real talent gets into that, and that gives it a throbbing, alive quality. Otherwise, the words remain dead. These poets have written many poems, and some of them can fall in the category of propaganda. We don't remember those poems today. From all these poets, there is a section when they were hardcore leftists, and they wrote poetry which was almost on the borderline of propaganda. That did not work. That did not remain a memory. But these are the poems that have come from their conviction, their belief. So it's not the fashion. I mean, tomorrow you may say that a leftist, a liberal person, a progressive person, a person who wants to see a fair and just society is writing about the downtrodden because it's the fashion. This is what is expected of him.
Yeah.
That won't work. Do you really feel that? Do you agree with this point of view? And that is why they were what they were. That this is what they're feeling, this is what their conviction, this is what their belief. And that's why it is effective. I am a commercial writer. We write films, but believe me, you leave aside literature, hardcore commercial cinema. If the dialogue writer is writing a scene locked in a 5-star hotel room, but when he is writing that scene, the tear doesn't come to his eye. Now this will go to the director. The director will explain it to the actor. A cameraman will shoot the scene. An editor will edit it. And then it will be released in Jabalpur, in Unnao, in Firozabad. If the writer did not have the tears in his eyes, nobody will cry in Firozabad.
Say. Wow.
It is a strange process.
Yes.
It is beyond my understanding.
Yes.
Although there are so many people standing between the writer and the,
Actual
shall I
audience.
say, the end user
Yes.
or the listener or the viewer.
Yes.
But in spite of that, here the connection is direct. This is the poet, that's the audience, and he's reciting, or this is the poet on the paper and somebody is reading it. It will only effect if it was meant by the writer. Otherwise it won't.
No.
The same words will be lifeless. Why? It's a mystery.
Thank you very much for that lovely answer, sir. Shreep, coming back to the book. Now, as you all know, ladies and gentlemen, the canvas of Kafi Azmi was very, very wide, and we are going to talk about that as well in a bit. What Sudeep has done in this book is that he has compiled 50 poems of Kafi Azmi, translated by 5 different translators, including Sudeep himself. He translates 11 of Kafi's poems at the end. And other than him, there is Hussain Mir Ali, there is Bedar Bakht, Sumantra Ghoshal, and Pritish Nandi. गालिब का शेर है कि खुलता किसी पे क्यों मेरे दिल का मामला, शेरों के इंतखाब ने रुसवा किया मुझे. तो मैं आपसे, I will translate this for you. The affairs of my heart, my inner recesses of my heart wouldn't have been revealed had it not been for the selection of my poetry. The selection that I have made. The selection here has been made by Sudeep. तो उनके दिल का मामला तो खुल गया है साहब इस सिलेक्शन से कि वो कैफी की कौन सी नज़में, कौन सी उनका जो कलाम है वो उनको पसंद है. Before I ask you to read the first poem from this book, I just want you to briefly tell us about this selection process, you know. Why just these poems from such a wide canvas?
No, so there are two ways of doing it. One is very, very personal. So you were talking about the genuineness of connect between the writer and the reader. So that genuineness has to remain. I had to pick poems I felt some sort of connection to. Otherwise, it becomes an academic exercise.
Yes.
I cannot translate someone's poetry if I don't feel it myself. At least 80% of it, I don't feel it myself.
Fine. Yes.
Yes, I need to pine for the lady. I need to feel for the person on the street. I need to feel which makan. That makan could be my makan, unless I feel it. So that's one thing. Second, of course, I think very early on when we met, you did tell me, and very wisely, Javed Saab told me that leave the ghazals out, which was a very wise thing. Just stick to the nazms. Now, ghazal tradition is a very different tradition. It has its own metrics, it has its own particular line formations, and so on. It needs to be sung. So it's another kind of beast. So that automatically limited the zone. After that, I also wanted, and I have to first admit that I am simply a foot soldier in this entire exercise. The person who is the god is the poet, Kaifi Saab. And there have been other foot soldiers before me. So I said, and say Pritish Nandi's chapbook is completely out of print. So I wrote to him saying, is it okay if I use some of them? And he said, choose whatever. There were other people who were doing stuff which were published, sometimes not published. And I felt, an array of voices should be put in the book so that you have multiple entry points into Kaifi Saab. Because if I do the entire book, it'll be from my point of view, which is fine, which is legit. But poetry is such a beautiful thing that to every year, to every reader, the poem changes depending on the mood, depending on the temperature. The same poem changes. It's very chameleon-like. Even though the core of the poem is solid. But the outer skin can change all the time. So that was one thing. And part of it is that, upbringing, leftist upbringing in my house where सबको chance देना चाहिए. मैं तो खैर किसी को chance नहीं दे रहा था क्योंकि these translations were done. And I just thought, let me choose the poems which are available. Second part was much more difficult, was to choose the poems which made sense as poems in English in the translated form. Much of the translations I saw that was already around wasn't actually, I have to admit, translated terribly well. There were even grammatical errors in the translations. Forget the rhythm. Cadence to last mein aati hai. So then I weeded out that. So I took the poems which worked as English poems, because ultimately this book is one side it's in Devanagari, one side it's in English. So it actually opens out Kaifi Saab's poetry to a huge demographic space, because the Urdu script very few people know. Even I've read all of Kaifi Saab's poetry in the Devanagari script, which I'm grateful that it's possible to do. So then the second reason was competence of the translation. And the third was, can I actually interfere in their translations? And some of the translators, I have to say, were very, very gracious, allowed me to calibrate things. And I'll tell you where it's successful. If you see the sound mixer here, it has, 200 knobs. So one end, it's the bass, it's the treble, it's the mid-range, and all the sort of wavelengths in between. The calibration is how you can change a semicolon to a comma. Because that half breath space makes all the difference in the line. Line ki jo wazan hai. Or how you end the line. What is the word choice? So I felt sometimes the translator might have been lazy. I said, if you're using rhymes in 2 stanzas and you've become lazy in the third, why don't you follow it up? And I said, हाँ बस वो time खत्म हो गया था, अब इसको ठीक कर दो. So it also depends. Some translators are also very egotistical. So but the fact is, the readers I think are very, very intelligent, as is the case in any genre. So it's up to the readers to decide what is good or bad. Yeah. Or what works or not works. So many of the translations are translations which convey the story of the poem, but not really the poetry. Some people do the technical aspect well. When I translate, it's very, very important that the meaning and the music has to come through. So I'll tell you how I translate. I'll give you an example. Yeah, I read a poem, be it in any language. I have translated also from languages I don't know, but with a poet, sitting with a poet who knows the language and knows English. I'll read a poem, then I will take down the notation of every line. So the meter, so the iambic pentameter, or the dactyls, or the antipis. So every line at the end of the transcreation, for instance, I will have a grid sheet in front of me without any words, but just marks. It's almost like a musical score sheet. And I ask someone from that language, in this case, Urdu jo achhe pad sakte hain. There are 2-3 people, friends of mine, who are very good. They read out each poem to me, and I made sure all the line lengths and the sound was exactly matched. So then I have a grid sheet without any words, but I have the exact notation of what the poem should be, or at least should aspire to be. Then every word or phrase I would translate separately and have a side column where I'll have 2-3 options for each word. Because synonyms are problematic, because not everything fits in. And then when you put in everything and see the line, and then you start fine-tuning, तब वो knobs जो है ना, तब मजा आता है. थोड़ा सा इसको ऊपर करो, उसको थोड़ा नीचे करो, उसको. And that part is very, very joyful and joyous. Also hard, but you know, poetry is an obsessive thing. I mean, we are obsessed people, we are strange people. So you carry on doing this because, but if you get it right, it's like the world's best floaty space.
May I interrupt
Please.
a little? Shabana, I call her sometimes Dr. No, because generally she says no. It's very difficult to please her, believe me. And I am really dying to listen to his translations, because so many people have translated Kafi, but the way she was praising his translations, that has really made me very, very curious. In my association of 35 years almost, I wish she had praised any of my poems like that.
ये मेरे ख्याल से थोड़ी ज्यादती भी है. एक बार मुझे याद है,
ज़्यादा हो रहा है.
we were in JLF London and somebody asked him, I was in a session with both of them, him and Shabana ji, and somebody asked him from the audience, somebody asked Shabana ji from the audience कि क्या ये घर पे भी उतने ही रोमांटिक हैं आपके साथ भी जितनी ये शायरी करते हैं. तो उनका इनसे ज़्यादा अनरोमांटिक आदमी मैंने नहीं देखा. तो इन्होंने कहा कि भाई ये तो वैसी ही बात हो गई कि कोई शख्स जो है वो सर्कस में जोकर का काम करता हो, घर पे भी हर वक्त उल्टा लटका रहे. So no, I want Shudeep to, and sir, I must say that Shabana ji's opinion of Shudeep's translations, I have read all the 50 translations, and all the 50 translations in this book I have read. And I must say that in terms of cadence, in terms of lyricism, in terms of rhythm, Shudeep's translations are definitely the best.
Shudeep Sahab, honestly, I mean, she was not leaving any superlative when she was talking about
This is
it.
very
तो
kind, very
इनसे
kind.
कहा जाए कि कुछ पढ़ दें. Let's start from एक बोसा मैं उर्दू में पढ़ देता हूँ, and then you see how he has translated this. एक बोसा. किस. जब भी चूम लेता हूँ इन हसीन आँखों को, 100 चिराग अंधेरे में झिलमिलाने लगते हैं. फूल क्या, शगुफे क्या, चांद क्या, सितारे क्या, सब रकीब कदमों पर सर झुकाने लगते हैं. रक्स करने लगती हैं मूरतें अजंता की, मुद्दतों के लब बस्ता गार गाने लगते हैं. फूल खिलने लगते हैं उजड़े उजड़े गुलशन में, प्यासी प्यासी धरती पर अब्र छाने लगते हैं. लम्हे भर को ये दुनिया जुल्म छोड़ देती है. लम्हे भर को ये दुनिया जुल्म छोड़ देती है. लम्हे भर को सब पत्थर मुस्कुराने लगते हैं. जब भी चूम लेता हूँ इन हसीन आँखों को, 100 चिराग अंधेरे में झिलमिलाने लगते हैं.
क्या बात, शुदीप, क्या बात है. बहुत सुंदर. One kiss. The moment I kiss these beautiful eyes, 100 lamps in the darkness glow, glitter. What flowers, what buds, what moon, what stars. All my rivals bow at your feet, head lowered. They begin their dance, the idols of Ajanta, as the long, close-lipped caves start to sing. Flowers bloom in unkempt, wilted gardens on the thirst-wrenched earth. Clouds collect, hover. Momentarily, the world relinquishes cruelty. Momentarily, all stones start to smile.
Now, अब ये देखिए साहब, इसमें जैसे let me give you an example of जब भी चूम लेता हूं इन हसीन आंखों को 100 चिराग अंधेरे में झिलमिलाने लगते हैं. How is he translated? झिलमिलाने लगते हैं. 100 lamps in the darkness glow, glitter. अब झिलमिलाने को उर्दू में आप सिर्फ ग्लिटर भी कह सकते थे, but by using glow glitter he has actually captured the essence of Kaifi.
See, Jhilmilane, when you take the notations of Jhilmilana,
जी.
it has so many beats. So either glow will not work.
Will not.
A, it's inadequate, I think. Glow is a certain kind of thing. Glitter is another thing. This is actually a combination of both. So how do I do this? So throughout my translation, and he'll point out other things, same, and ujde. I've used compound words which have not been used side by side. And also J and J, I wanted a JJ sound in English. The
Yes.
closest I got was GG, glow, glitter. So, it takes lots and lots of time to think through all these small
Brilliant.
things.
It's brilliant. You see, Jhilmilana,
Jhilmilana.
and how he has translated, I must also appreciate that. You see, एक चिराग जल रहा है, चिराग रोशन है. It means the light and its intensity are constant.
झिलमिलाना.
They are not moving.
Yes.
Jhilmilana means now it's more, now it's less.
Yes.
Now it's more, now it's less. By using two terms, when you from glow to glittering you go, in between, however millionth of a second is there, but then the light is not there. Again it comes in
Yes.
glittering.
Yes.
So that now it is there, now you see, now you don't. That has come in two words. It could have never come in one word.
Yeah.
Because झिलमिलाने का literal translation English में
वही
नहीं
है.
है. He has created झिलमिलाना by using two words for the light. He could have said glittering,
Yes.
but then it would have been constant. झिलमिलाना is not constant.
Yeah.
Super.
ऐसे ही एक और शेर
And
जावेद साहब.
not only that, actually, just to follow that, I'll tell you, draft number 17, say, just off the top of my head, had glow and glitter. And I said, that's good enough, but it still wasn't
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah.
Then I had glow
Glitter.
dash
Ah.
and dash glitter, so that the reader reads it together as one phrase, even though it's three words.
Yeah.
Even then I said, nahi, maza nahi aa raha usme. Finally I said, glow dash glitter was my penultimate draft. And then I said, it grammatically is not making sense because glow dash glitter doesn't make sense. So I said, finally, it'll be a compound unit, but glow, comma, glitter as one.
And with the dash before it.
No, I've used a comma because I also
Before glow.
before glow,
Yeah, with a long-
comma,
Yeah.
glitter,
Yes.
and before that there's a long dash.
There's a long dash
Yeah.
before glow. एक और शेर की तरफ जी.
That comma has made it झिलमिलाना.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
एक मैं सर एक और शेर की तरफ आपकी तवज्जो दिलाना चाहता हूँ. इसी गजल, ये शेर है कि फूल खिलने लगते हैं उजड़े उजड़े गुलशन में, प्यासी प्यासी धरती पर अब्र छाने लगते हैं. अब कैसे इन्होंने तर्जुमा किया है? उजड़े उजड़े गुलशन में, unkempt wilted gardens, प्यासी प्यासी धरती पर, on the thirst wrenched earth, क्या होने लगते हैं? अब्र छाने लगते हैं. Clouds collect hover. So Shudip has himself said in his introduction, and that means I've read your book. He's himself said in his introduction that the litmus test for me while translating is that the translations should themselves read like good English poems. तो मैं इससे पहले कि मैं शुदीप से दरख्वास्त करूं कि 2-3 और हमें तर्जुमे अपने सुना दें, मैं एक सवाल जावेद साहब से करना चाहता हूं, और उसका ताल्लुक तर्जुमे से नहीं है. जावेद साहब, दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द मोस्ट रोमांटिक, वन ऑफ द मोस्ट, इफ आई मे से, सेंशुअस पोएम्स इन उर्दू लिटरेचर, ये जो अभी पढ़ी गई है एक. और कैफी साहब जब रोमांटिक शायरी कर रहे होते थे तो उनको ये बात याद ही नहीं रहती थी कि वो इस कदर ज़बरदस्त प्रोटेस्ट पोएट हैं. यही बात आप में भी है. not only protest poet, but also he had written amazing lyrics for films. गीतकार इतने ज़बरदस्त, ये तीनों बातें जो हैं ये आपके साथ भी हैं. कौन, मतलब ये तो कोई सोच ही नहीं सकता है कि एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा. वही शख्स ये भी कह रहा है कि जो बात कहते डरते हैं सब, तू वो बात लिख, कितनी अंधेरी थी. ये तो कोई कह ही नहीं सकता है कि इस तरह का. ऐसा ही वाइट कैनवस कैफी का भी था. साहब ये कैसे होता है कि एक शायर, हाउ डज ही शिफ्ट गियर, कि एक तरफ तो बिल्कुल ऐसी रोमांटिक पोएम लिखी जा रही है जैसे कि एक बोसा जब भी चूम लेता हूं, और दूसरी तरफ ये कि उठ मेरी जान मेरे साथ ही चलना है तुझे.
No person is one person. As a matter of fact, in every person there are so many people. Every person is a crowd, is a mahfil in himself. Now, Ghalib has said this in his one of his couplets. I'll have to translate it because it's in a difficult language. It was difficult even at that time when he was writing. है आदमी बजाय खुद एक मैशर ख्याल, हम अंजुमन समझते हैं खिलवत ही क्यों ना हो. That every human being is a collage, huge collage of thoughts. And I feel that I am sitting in a gathering even when I am alone.
Yes.
So there are different aspects of everybody's personality, everybody. You are playing different roles. When you meet your friends, your persona, your body language, your vocabulary is different than you meet your parents. When you meet your business or professional colleagues, then you are another kind of a person. We keep on changing. When we meet our juniors or seniors and so on, we have different personalities. The same way, perhaps, is true of a poet also. A poet lives the moment and lives that moment wholesomely to an extent that he or she can express it the way they do. All of us feel these feelings. These words are not only available to poets but everybody. They are in the dictionary. Anybody can go and pick up any word. So there is no ration on it. But because this person lives that moment with such intensity that words come to the person. And said, this is me. You have to use me here. I'll be able to do it what you want to do. You want to express, I'll do it. And in every moment, if you are wholesome, then you can achieve that. Like Osho has said once that you should be like a mirror. The moment that is in front of you, you should reflect it totally like a mirror. Like mirror reflects any object, and the moment it goes away, mirror becomes empty. Then another persona will come, or another person will come, or another moment will come. So I think this is the honesty of the poet, that whatever he has written, he has only written if he has felt it with total intensity and honesty. I mean, you can be a revolutionary and a lover. It is not a contradiction. As a matter of fact, you are a lover. You love social justice. You love a fair society. You love people who are helpless, downtrodden. You feel their pain. So that is also love on a large scale. And then it can be for a person. That is also true. But ultimately, it is love for others.
I think
And also, to add to what you're saying, it's not just the honesty, it's also the integrity of the writer, the poet, because the poet has nothing to lose. And also the poet usually is possessed. When you're in the throes of writing, you're possessed, you're almost half mad. And the third thing I feel what helps is most poets, good writers, artists, or any intellectual, there is no hierarchy. So, on any given day, we can enjoy champagne and also sharbat. I love my papri chaat and some fancy thing in a 5-star hotel. Why not? It's completely okay to do that. It's a question of context, it's a question of mood, and it's in any religion, you see the entire pantheon of emotions, or even Hinduism. Creation, preservation, and destruction. Without any of these going, everything is in turmoil. So you need everything. As long as there's integrity, and as long as you respect a non-hierarchical system.
But that leaves me with a question: whether the revolution or the beloved, which one is the papri chaat?
He's saying which one is the papri chaat,
दोनों
revolution or
हैं।
the beloved?
दोनों है। I mean, beloved के बीच में, love के बीच में कितना revolution होता है?
ये तो
You know, within the context of a closed room, there are revolutions that are fought, which are even more harder to win than outside. Outside, you have a matrix, you have a construct to do things. In a given relationship, there are no rules. My God, you have to think on your feet. So it's revolutionary in that sense, I suspect. Yeah.
Thank you for those revelations. And I think it was E.M. Foster who said that a big poet lives many a life within one life. That's the point that Javed Sahib was trying to make also.
Also dies many a life.
Also dies many, yeah, absolutely. Shudip, let's go to another poem of yours. मशवरे मशवरे इसका भी तर्जुमा किया है साहब ने खुलता किसी पे क्यों मेरे दिल का मामला
Maybe I did it at a time when it was just the mahol was such. Who knows?
आपके
Will you read the
I will just
Urdu?
read this.
हाँ, आप उसको पढ़ो पहले.
मशवरे पीरी पहले ये पीरी उसके बाद शबाब है पीरी ये जी वो तर्जुमा तो किया ही उन्होंने वो पढ़ेंगे अच्छा जी पीरी ये आंधी ये तूफान ये तेज धारे कड़कते तमाशे गरजते नज़ारे अंधेरी फजा सांस लेता समंदर न हमराह मिशल न गर्दों पे तारे मुसाफिर खड़ा रहा अभी जी को मारे शबाब उसी का है साहिल उसी के कगारे तलातुम में फंसकर जो दो हाथ मारे अंधेरी फजा सांस लेता समंदर यूं ही सर पटकते रहेंगे ये धारे कहां तक चलेगा किनारे किनारे अब जरा तर्जुमा सुनिए इनका
So it's in two stanzas. Each one has 5 lines, and obviously there are 2 characters. One is age, and the other one is youth. So first one is age. This storm, this cyclone, this fast current, the crackling show, thunderous ferment, dark vastness, heaving ocean, no guiding light, no stars in the firmament. The traveler stood still, motionless, despondent. Youth. For him, the companion, for him, the shore's rim, who, caught in a storm flood, attempts to swim. Dark vastness, heaving ocean, these currents will keep beating their heads in. How far will you go, sticking to the shore's rim?
अब ये देखिए ना आप मुसाफिर खड़ा रहा अभी जी को खड़ा रह होना चाहिए अभी जी को मारे he stood still motionless despondent खड़ा रहा क्या है इन्होंने इसको खड़ा रहे अब एक मैं इनसे और नज़म पढ़वाना चाह रहा हूं
नहीं, and the other thing you must notice is the rhyme scheme is AABAA, CCBCC in the original, which has also been preserved in the English translation, which is also very, very difficult to do. Because sometimes what happens is when you're translating from a language which is inherently lyrical, which is Farsi, Bangla, Urdu, they're just inherently more lyrical than, say, standard English. And when you're trying to translate those exact rhymes, you start repeating it, it can sound banal. So you have to kind of do a lot of tweaking to get that right. So this is the rhyme scheme for people who are obsessed like us with things like that.
I remember on a very, very credible website, there is this translation of Ghalib, this शेर कि ये थी खबर गरम की गालिब के उड़ेंगे पुरजे देखने हम भी गए थे पर तमाशा ना हुआ इसका तर्जुमा बाकायदा मेरे पास सेव किया हुआ है मैंने न्यूज़ वाज हॉट दैट स्पेयर पार्ट्स ऑफ गालिब वुड फ्लाई वी टू वेंट टू सी बट द शो वाज नॉट हेल्ड इस तरह के तर्जुमे भी हैं साहब इस तरह के तर्जुमे भी हैं. शुदीप, लेट्स गो टू जस्ट लेट्स मे बी रीड वन मोर नज़म, दूसरा तूफान, और फिर मैं जावेद साहब से दरख्वास्त करूंगा कुछ एक सवाल है मेरा, और देन वील.
If you permit me, because this is something that is interesting, he said, and I just want to add a little to it. You know, every language has different syntax. The syntax of English is perfect for the prose. Unlike Hindi or Urdu, or perhaps any other language. I'll tell you why. Because in English syntax, the suspense of the sentence is revealed in the last word. You say anything, the suspense will get completed in the very last word of the sentence. And that makes English a very precise and tight language. And that is very good for the prose. Because there is no extra word. The last word is revealing. The last word is giving the ultimate information. So there are no extra words. Unlike in Hindi Urdu, I am going. Where are you going? Are you hungry? How are you? Is the last word. अब हम जो हैं, तुम कैसे हो, तो कैसे में निकल गई बात. क्या सवाल हो रहा पता चल गया. मैं घर जा रहा हूँ, मैं घर पहले चला गया है. तो अभी ये फूड़पन करते हैं इसके ऊपर. टीवी पे आपने देखा होगा, दे ट्राई टू यूज इंग्लिश सिंटेक्स द स्ट्रक्चर इन हिंदी, और फिर वो जा रहे थे अपने घर. तो ये सब उल्टा ये हो रहा है, देखा होगा आपने. हाँ, बट दिस क्वालिटी, a kind of a, shall I say, the want of a better word, I'll say that more easy syntax comes handy in poetry. And it may, because things are not in pin sharp focus. In English, whatever you may try, you can't go out of focus. But in Hindi, Urdu, there is a relaxed manner, a laid back attitude है grammar में उसके. That comes handy. शाम भी थी धुआं धुआं, हुस्न भी था उदास उदास, दिल को कही कहानियाँ याद सी आके रह गईं. Now याद सी, याद नहीं आई, याद सी आके आ गई, नहीं रह गईं. You can't translate it. Because, I mean, English people are precise people. They want to say what they mean, and they mean what they say.
Unlike us.
So, they can't be that ambiguous. It's not possible to catch this ambiguity. याद सी आके रह गई, तो आई कि नहीं आई पता नहीं. ये abstraction जो है, ये आ ही नहीं सकता वहाँ. It's a focused language. Pin sharp focus. तो वो prose में it's a strong point. Poetry में it becomes a handicap.
Also culturally, we are very blessed.
That's what I wanted to.
We are very blessed. I mean, Ardhanarishwar. I mean, you know, in a Western concept, that doesn't exist, for instance. So we are very comfortable in that sort of bipolar, gendered situation.
You know, but certainly it is very, very difficult to translate from one culture into another, because when you translate from Urdu into English or English into Urdu, you are actually translating from one culture into another.
Which is why the best poets can do it if you
Yes.
invent and expand and push language.
कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें रह जाती हैं सर, जैसे फॉर इंस्टेंस इंतसाब का मैं तर्जुमा कर रहा था किसी को भेजने के लिए, और अब आप नहीं, दो फैज़ की नज़म जो है इंतसाब, उसमें एक बंद में ये आता है कि आंचलों की हिना. अब आप साहब इसका तर्जुमा मुझे कर बताइए. आंचल का कोई तर्जुमा है ही नहीं अंग्रेजी में. इट कुड बी द हेम ऑफ योर शर्ट, इट कुड बी योर स्टोल, कुड बी वेल. अब वो डिपेंड करता है कि आपने किस तरह से, किस कल्चरल कॉन्टेक्स्ट में ये बात कही है. जी, अच्छा, बहरहाल शुदीप, लेट्स जस्ट read out one more poem, and then I want to ask Javed साहब to read out something. जी, एक लम्हा पढ़ें, या दूसरा तूफान पढ़िए सर. पढ़ें.
There's a nice story.
अच्छा,
You must tell the story
what
behind the
page is
poem. Ek lamha is 167.
जी, आप कुछ स्टोरी कह रहे हैं कि एक
Maybe
लम्हे
after the poem, you'll remember it.
I don't have any story.
Oh, you don't have a story. Okay.
ये सब बहुत ही खूबसूरत, बहुत ही नाजुक जो है ये नज़म है. ज़िंदगी नाम है कुछ लम्हों का, और उनमें भी वो एक लम्हा जिसमें दो बोलती आँखें, चाय की प्याली से जब उठें तो दिल में डूबें, डूब के दिल में कहें आज तुम कुछ ना कहो, आज मैं कुछ ना कहूँ। बस यूं ही बैठे रहो हाथ में हाथ लिए, गर्मिए जज्बात लिए। कौन जाने कि इसी लम्हे में दूर पर्वत पे कहीं बर्फ पिघलने ही लगे। ये नज़्म है। And look at the imagery and look at the delicacy of this. And look at Shudip's translation now.
One moment. What we call life is just a few moments. And within that one moment, when a pair of expressive eyes look up from a teacup and drown in the heart, drowning, say, today you should keep your silence. Today I will keep mine. Let us just sit hand in hand with our mutual gift of grief, with our shared heat of emotions. Who knows, in this moment on some distant mountain, the snow might start to melt.
वाह। अब देखिए साहब, आज तुम कुछ ना कहो, आज मैं कुछ ना कहूँ। टुडे यू शुड कीप योर साइलेंस, टुडे आई विल कीप माइन। यहीं पे ये बात, ये तर्जुमा है साहब। I must say Mark Twain had famously said that a good translator knows the difference between using the absolute right word and the almost right word. I think Shudip knows that difference rather well. Yeah.
But you know the story behind this, right? Okay, Shabana always says the story.
ये
But
ग़ालिबन
I won't
शौकत
say it
आबा
because
की
she
नज़्म है,
says it very
जावेद
well.
साहब?
This was the
ये उनकी बेगम के लिए नज़म है जी। हाँ, यही मेरे ख्याल से वो स्टोरी ये जरा जी।
कि every morning he would, they have a beautiful cottage, a small cottage in Juhu. Now nobody lives there. Baba, Shabana's brother, uses it as office, but they are not, nobody is living there. So he would come early in the morning, sit in the lawn. Then she would come. Then in a tray, tea and milk and sugar and cups will come, and it will be a great ritual how to make tea and so on. And then they would sit there, talk and so on. And Kafi Saab was a man of few words, but that can't be said about his wife, Shaukat Appa. I can't cross the limit. She's my mother-in-law, so I hope you understand what I'm saying. So Baba, आज तुम कुछ ना कहो, आज मैं कुछ ना कहूँ. बाबा said, मेरे फादर इस दुनिया से चले गए, मगर उनका ये अरमान नहीं पूरा हो कि आज तुम कुछ ना कहो. ये कभी पूरा नहीं हुआ.
जी जी जी.
And why I wanted you to relate this lovely little episode, and Shabana actually has lots of layers to it. She goes on with this, and it's almost like a little novella. Is when you read the poem, it's of intensity, of
Yes.
great seriousness. It's of a very high register, but it's very important to know that there's also playfulness, irony, the domesticity, and the sort of love that evolves in a long marriage, which is a different kind of love, which is also embedded in this. So those are things, one has to calibrate into not just the poem, but also the translation. Yeah.
I don't know what happens better earlier, love or long marriage.
So I think it's
I think
now,
let's just stick to the love bit.
I think that's perhaps now an infructuous misadventure, so this institution of marriage. Well, anyhow, that's a longer discussion. Before we take some questions, I would ask both Javed Sahab and Shudip to recite something as a homage to Kaifi Sahab. But before that, I would like to myself pay homage to Kaifi Sahab by reciting one of my favorite nazms of Kaifi, Pyar Ka Jashan, which also Shudip has translated, by the way. प्यार का जश्न नई तरह मनाना होगा। और ये इतनी मौजू है आज के लिए, ये नज़्म इस कदर मौजू है कि आज जो हमको जिस तरह के दुख मिल रहे हैं, जिस तरह की चोटें हमको लग रही हैं, वो सिर्फ प्यार से ही दूर हो सकती हैं, प्यार के जश्न मनाने से ही दूर हो सकती हैं। तो प्यार का जश्न नई तरह मनाना होगा, गम किसी दिल में सही गम को मिटाना होगा। कांपते होठों पे पैमाने वफा क्या कहना, तुझको लाई है कहाँ लफ्ज़ पा क्या कहना, मेरे घर में तेरे मुखड़े की जिया क्या कहना, आज हर घर का दिया मुझको जलाना होगा, प्यार का जश्न नई तरह मनाना होगा। रूह चेहरों पे धुआं देखकर शर्माती है, रूह चेहरों पे धुआं देखकर शर्माती है, झेपी झेपी सी मेरे लब पे हंसी आती है, तेरे मिलने की खुशी दर्द बनी जाती है, हमको हंसना है तो औरों को हंसाना होगा, प्यार का जश्न नई तरह मनाना होगा। और सोई सोई हुई आंखों में छलकते हुए जाम, सोई सोई हुई आंखों में छलकते हुए जाम, खोई खोई हुई नजरों में मोहब्बत का पयाम, लबे शीरी पे मेरी तशना लबी का इनाम, जाने इनाम मिलेगा कि चुराना होगा, प्यार का जश्न नई तरह मनाना होगा। और आखिरी बंद है कि मेरी गर्दन में तेरी संदली बाहों का ये हार, मेरी गर्दन में तेरी संदली बाहों का ये हार, अभी आंसू थे इन आंखों में अभी इतना खुमार, मैं ना कहता था मेरे घर में भी आएगी बहार, शर्त इतनी थी कि पहले तुझे आना होगा, प्यार का जश्न नई तरह मनाना होगा, गम किसी दिल में सही गम को मिटाना होगा।
And in this poem, of course, you read it very beautifully.
Thank
In
you.
this poem, you have, it's so complicated, the number of compound words that
Yes.
there are. Bashfully abash.
Yes.
Or you can comment on this when after I read it. Yeah. But you know, this poem also, to me, when I read and reread the original, I found that, you know, the celebration is also not of one kind of seriousness, but there's also a light-hearted, mirthful, collegial celebration. So the two other translations of the same poem I've read by two other people, I find they've missed that. It becomes too staccato, too deadened. I mean, a phrase like kya kahna is a refrain. And it's a sort of joyous, skipping like onomatopic refrain. And most of the translators said indeed. So it's almost like saying, you know, the English, oh, well, indeed. I mean, for God's sakes, you know, it is not that formal. So I said, let me bring a little bit of Spanish Rioja wine. And Spanish लोग क्या बोलते हैं जब थोड़ा सा दो तीन हो जाता है?
Bravo.
Bravo. And they say bravo completely like a Hindi wala or a Bengali.
Bravo.
Bravo. Bravo. Bravo. Mood के ऊपर है साहब. तो मैंने वो indeed और bravo में तो choice ही नहीं था मेरे को. So
Bravo
anyway,
ही होना था.
I went with bravo. Actually, we were talking
जी,
about
yes,
it,
yes.
and I also asked Asif Faruqi and
Yes.
Amina Saeed because I had said, you know, a lot of our Pakistani friends are part of this because they read my drafts. So बहुत up and down हुआ है before the book came out.
शुक्र है खुदा का उसका कोई असर नहीं पड़ा, किताब पे बहुत अच्छी आई है। Carry on, please.
So it is no longer a national secret.
Yeah.
We are talking about two very, very fine Pakistani colleagues and friends of ours. Celebration of love. Celebration of love, we must rejoice in a new way. Sadness in my heart, this sadness mustn't stay. On trembling lips, a promise of fidelity. Bravo, I say. Your unsure feet, see where they've carried you. Bravo, I say. In my home, your face all lit up. Bravo, I say. In every home, I must light a lamp today. The soul shies away, seeing smoke masking every face. Bashfully abash, on my lips, a laugh appears. Ecstasy of our meeting transforms into torment. If we were to laugh, We must help others to laugh. In your sleep asleep eyes, chalice spills over. Your lost, distracted glances contain missives of love. Thirst on my lips, your lips, my reward. Will I be rewarded? Or will I have to steal it away? Around my neck, your arms, a sandalwood garland. A while back, these eyes, tearful, now intoxicated. Did I not say spring will enter my house too? Only condition, the first to enter will be you.
ये सिर्फ एक चीज पे मैं ध्यान दिलाना चाह रहा हूं आप लोगों का, कांपते होठों पे पैमाने वफा क्या कहना, तुझको लाई है कहां लग़्ज़िशे पा, अब देखिएगा लग़्ज़िशे पा क्या कहना, ऑन ट्रेम्बलिंग लिप्स, कांपते होठों पे, ऑन ट्रेम्बलिंग लिप्स ए प्रॉमिस ऑफ फिडेलिटी, ब्रावो आई से, योर अनश्योर फीट सी वेयर दे हैव कैरिड यू, ब्रावो आई से। ये और ये जो आप कंपाउंड बात कर रहे थे, लुक एट दिस द नेक्स्ट वन, रूह चेहरों पे धुआं देखकर शर्माती है, झेपी झेपी सी मेरे लब पे हंसी आती है। द सोल शाइज अवे seeing smoke masking every face, झेपी झेपी सी, bashfully abash, on my lips a laugh appears. ये है तर्जुमे का कमाल इनके। हाँ, सो आगे ही पढ़ देता हूँ मैं इसको पूरा, जो है सोई सोई हुई आंखों में छलकते हुए जाम, खोई खोई हुई नजरों में मोहब्बत का पयाम। अब सोई सोई खोई खोई, इन योर स्लीप asleep eyes chalice spills over, your lost distracted glances contain missives of love. तो खोई सोई सोई खोई खोई। Shudip, I must say, before I request Javed Sahab, I must say that if I am allowed to be honest and candid, I did not expect, I have known Shudip for a very long time, I did not expect a contemporary English poet with an almost British disposition, to translate so sensitively from a language such as Urdu. I'm very glad that Shudip, my friend, has proven me wrong. And
You forgot that he's a Bengali.
That's what I was going to say. You forgot the main thing. Being Bengali makes all the
I actually wanted to avoid that part, to be honest. जावेद साहब, आपकी एक बहुत ही नादिर, मैं कहूँगा कि नज़्म है कैफ़ी साहब पे, अजीब आदमी था वो। मैं आपसे दरख्वास्त करूँगा कि वो अगर आप सुना दें।
And believe me, this is not an attempt to give him a compliment. It is just reporting. It is just informing you what he was. You see, it is generally believed that शायरों की कथनी और करनी
अलग अलग
में बड़ा फर्क होता है. What they say and what they do. It's totally understandable. I have nothing against it, because what they say is so beautiful, so perfect, so wonderful that it is very difficult to live that way. वो कह दिया उन्होंने, अलग बात है, कहना ही बड़ा काम है, ये भी एक काम है जो उन्होंने किया है. तो even if they don't live what they are saying, it's perfectly all right with me. But here was a poet, and when I said here was a poet, as I have told you right in the beginning, I have known many poets from a very close quarter, great poets and great fiction writers. But this is an exception, Kafi Sahib, in one way. He lived what he wrote. If he wrote about the mill workers, the workers, he lived with them. He worked in trade unions. He lived with them, slept on the pavements with them. If he wrote about women empowerment, this broad-mindedness did not stop at the door of his own house. The women in his family and women who were around him, his wife, his daughter-in-law, all of them are extremely empowered women who always had their own career, their own work, their opinion, their own voice. If he wrote against communalism, then this was not an empty socio-political slogan for him. He lived in a secular way. Whether any festival like Holi or Diwali or Eid or Christmas, it was celebrated with equal zeal and equal enthusiasm in his house. And I'm so happy that his children are carrying this tradition. Even today, Diwali and Holi and Christmas are celebrated exactly the way he used to do it in his house. We, in his house in Janki Kutir, perhaps we celebrate the biggest Diwali party of film industry there. Hundreds of people come and go from morning till evening. If he spoke about the farmer, the village, and wrote about it, he went to the village, his own village, after 40 years. And when I went in the beginning just to meet him with Shabana, I asked her, where has he come and what is he trying to do here? I mean, it was in the midst of nowhere. There was nothing there, not even a road, no electricity, nothing. Those people had not seen a telephone. They had not seen a television. They had not seen a pressure cooker in their lives. It had not reached that village. And today, because of his efforts, and then Shabana has carried that responsibility, that is, village has a cemented road, a primary school, a girls' school, a computer center, a women's vocation center, maternity home, everything. It is, and clean, beautiful, well painted, totally hygienic lanes, everything is perfect. It has become a model town because of the effort of a person who was half paralyzed.
Yeah.
So, this is something very admirable, that he lived his poetry, which most of us don't do. So here is a poem that I wrote after he passed away. And as he said, on the other hand, he wrote romantic poetry. अजीब आदमी था वो, मोहब्बतों का गीत था, बगावतों का राग था, कभी वो सिर्फ फूल था, कभी वो सिर्फ आग था, अजीब आदमी था वो जाबिरों से कहता था कि दिन बदल भी सकते हैं, तुम्हारे सर पे सोने के जो ताज हैं कभी पिघल भी सकते हैं। वो मुफलिसों से कहता था कि दिन बदल भी सकते हैं। वो बंदिशों से कहता था मैं तुमको तोड़ सकता हूं। सहूलतों से कहता था मैं तुमको छोड़ सकता हूं। हवाओं से वो कहता था मैं तुमको मोड़ सकता हूं। वो ख्वाब से ये कहता था कि तुझको सच करूंगा मैं। वो आरज़ू से कहता था मैं तेरा हम सफर हूं, तेरे साथ ही चलूंगा मैं। तू चाहे जितनी दूर भी बना ले अपनी मंजिलें, कभी नहीं थकूंगा मैं। वो जिंदगी से कहता था कि तुझको मैं सजाऊंगा, तू मुझसे चांद मांग ले, मैं चांद लेके आऊं।
वाह 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 वाह।
वो आदमी से कहता था कि आदमी से प्यार कर,
वाह।
उजड़ रही है ये जमीन, कुछ इसका आप सिंगार कर। अजीब आदमी था वो। वो जिंदगी के सारे गम, तमाम दुख, हर एक सितम से कहता था मैं तुमसे जीत जाऊंगा, कि तुमको तो मिटा ही देगा एक रोज आदमी, भुला ही देगा ये जहां, मेरी अलग है दास्तां। वो आंखें जिनमें ख्वाब है, वो दिल है जिनमें धड़कने, वो बाजू जिनमें है सकत, वो होंठ जिन पे लफ्ज है, रहूंगा उनके दरमियां कि जब मैं बीत जाऊंगा। अजीब आदमी था वो।
वाह 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 वाह, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर। आप इस नज़्म से आप लोग ये तो समझ ही गए होंगे दैट कैफी वाज द पोएट ऑफ होप। लाइक फैज ही ऑल्सो बिलीव्ड इन द प्रॉमिस्ड डे, वो दिन की जिसका वादा है जो लोहे अज़ल पे लिखा है। एंड शुदीप चूजेस टू एंड हिज बुक विद दीज लाइन्स ऑफ कैफी, हाँ मगर एक दिया नाम है जिसका उम्मीद झिलमिलाता ही चला जाता है। To end this session, I would request Shudeep to read his tribute to Kaifi Sahab, interestingly called Mont Blanc, the pen, the brand, Mont Blanc.
So this is another wonderful aspect of Kaifi Sahab, the dichotomy. Here he is, in a Communist Party, working as a card-carrying member of the Communist Party with a strict wage, which can't even afford anything. But his penchant, his obsession for Montblanc fountain pens. He had 18 Montblanc fountain pens. But as a communist, you're not supposed to have this, right? But hey, he's a poet, and he's a great poet, and he's got a dil which is passionate. So why not? Not only did he not possess 18 fountain pens, he would periodically send these pens to a fountain pen hospital in New York to get it serviced. तो वो है ना मजेदार चीज. Anyway,
वो pens कहाँ
I
हैं,
say
जावेद
this
साहब?
because there's a reference to it in the.
वो पेन्स हैं अभी.
So, to the great man, and hopefully, I hope India can change. We are living in dark times, and hope something can be learned from these great souls. Mont Blanc for Kaifi Azmi on its 100th birth anniversary. Blue-black ink tip of your fountain pen's nib etches words on your sepia notebook, lines outliving the instrument itself. Ink slow fills the belly of your pens, its capillary pressure coursing through the gold nib, the unseen veins parting, leaking words, phrases, lyrics, lines. Lines singing, protesting, plowing Azamgarh in your ancestral mijwa. Sustenance for body, mind, soul. Your writing tools periodically shipped far to New York's Fountain Pen Hospital. A facelift. Pristine architecture restored. 18 Mont Blancs to remember you by. I vividly recollect the first inscription you penned for me on a photocopied flyleaf of your out-of-print poetry chapbook. The subtle seduction of Urdu's cursive script, its parabolic slants, serifs, your hand scripting codes for life. Your lyrics rose, guzzles, mellifluous, sonorous baritone. Your nib, fertile, metrical, sharp, sure. Poetry's passion, a love I shared with a man I never met, but crossed paths through the measure of his ink on a page. I recall my ma powerfully elocuting your nazm, औरत. उठ मेरी जान, मेरे साथ ही चलना है तुझे. Rise, my beloved, with me you must walk along.
Thank you, Shadeep. Thank you very much. And I know we are running terribly late, but with Javed Saab's permission, we'll just take a question or two.
Good evening, everyone. So my question is to Javed Saab. Assalamu alaikum, sir. And पहले एक व्यक्तिगत बात से शुरू करूँगा. I'm sorry.
पर बहुत देर हो रही है तो सिर्फ सवाल ही पूछिए.
Couple of minutes, sir. So my mamu and my mama are like huge fan of yours, sir. And today I just want to ask you one question and a request, sir. So my first question is, the first few generation of poets and the deep, meaningful poems, intense poems of 20th century, how do we involve it with the young generation, teenagers and youths? And sir, a couple of years back you were here in PILF, so we didn't get a chance to see you. पता नहीं इंशाल्लाह आगे रूबरू कब मुलाकात होगी. I'm here with a friend of mine and she has your book and she needs an autograph, sir.
वाह, असली सवाल ये था.
And सवाल वही था सर. And with your permission, if you allow us, मैं कैफिल साहब की कुछ concentrated आज के 2 लाइन बोल के उन्हें वहाँ पर लेके आना चाहता हूँ. उठ मेरी जान, मेरे साथ ही चलना है तुझे.
Are you proposing to her? Right?
No, sir. I actually did it. Like she's my fiance, and inshallah, with
Wow.
everything, if it
Wow,
goes
wow.
correct, we are aspiring civil servants, and inshallah, after
So
results,
we
and
are
everything-
playing a supporting role in this story.
It's
Thank you.
possibly, probably, yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay, good luck to both of you.
Thank you, sir. So,
And
uh,
if you live this poem, I think that will be wonderful for both of you.
Thank you
because
so much, sir.
This is a poem about a woman who should be, ought to be, and perhaps she is a very empowered person. कैसे अब बैठ जाइए
And sir,
अब बैठ जाइए वो
okay.
काम बाद में होगा वो अभी नहीं we can't give a crash course in poetry to anybody or art in over one day or 1 week. One has to grow up. Like, when he was a kid, he heard his mother reciting poetry. The poetry was around him. I can say that about myself, about him, because I know his family also. So what happens that through some process of osmosis, it keeps on going in you. There are many things that you don't understand that time. But the very fact that the peers and the elders whom you respect and admire and love, they have liked it. So it keeps a question mark in your mind. What is that my father or my uncle or my elder brother have appreciated so much? There must be something good because they are good people. So ultimately, slowly it melts and comes to you. I have by-hearted many couplets without understanding the meanings, and I understood the meaning much later. It happens. So what is necessary that we should expose a younger generation to poetry, literature, art, painting, Indian music, folk literature, and today we are not doing it. That's the problem. And one day you want an 18-year-old or 20-year-old to start loving poetry. Well, you had never given this to this person. It is not part of his or her nostalgia. When he or she thinks of a childhood, there is no poetry at all. So that is the problem.
The lady here was asking a question. Yes.
आजकल के बच्चों में जो टैलेंट है राइटिंग का, बट दे डोंट हैव एन एक्सपीरियंस. So we go through the poetry. When you say some Urdu poem, we relate. We say, we feel it. But we don't get the words to express nowadays. So do we have anything to say about that?
Yes, read. Read a lot. Read a lot. And by heart poetry. You should remember it. It is not enough that you have read it. You start relating to the words and vocabulary and the phonetics of the language when you remember it by heart. There was an Arab poet some thousands of years earlier, before Islam. He had said that let no one write poetry who doesn't remember 200,000 couplets of others. I mean, those were the leisurely times. Perhaps 200,000 is not possible today, but at least 2,000. You have to remember poetry, and then you understand the music of language, the phonetics. You start relating to the words. Words are like human beings, people. A person enters, the first thing you see is the physical appearance. Then you are introduced, ye doctor hai, engineer hai, chartered accountant hai. Then you come to know the person is from Indore. Then you say, I have a friend who lives in Indore. And then, of course I know him. I have not met him, but his brother is my friend. And so on. So you start slotting the person. The same way, the sound of the word is its physical appearance. That is his physical appearance, the word's physical appearance. Then you come to know, think of the meaning. Meaning is the vocation. There is a sound called apple. Apple is deputed on a job to carry the meaning of a fruit. That is the job of apple. Like some people are doctors, some people are engineers. Apple does bring a memory of a particular red-colored fruit to you. But then you remember when you had eaten it, apple means where it is grown, where it is cultivated, what are the meaning of apple of my eyes, apple this, apple that. All the references come to your mind. So a good writer relates to the word that if I use this word, what kind of memories on subconscious level will arouse in an average mind? That you will learn only by reading and having a very huge vocabulary at your disposal.
हुजूर वो जॉन एलिया ने
Also, just to, the example of the apple is good because you need to
Always.
also bite into the apple many times over and let the apple rot and see the skin, see the inside of the skin, how it changes. So there's a lot you have to do. You have to live through it. As he was saying, the poem starts evolving in a different way as you grow up. The words grow up with you as you grow up.
जॉन एलिया ने हुजूर एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत बात एक जगह लिखी है कि बहुत से लोगों को पढ़ना चाहिए मगर वो लिख रहे हैं. I'm going to exercise my discretion as the chair and take just two last questions. The gentleman at the back has been raising his hand for a while.
मेरा नाम अंबुज है. मेरा सवाल जावेद साहब से. सर, जब मैंने अभी लिखना शुरू किया या पढ़ना शुरू किया तो मुझे अक्सर लोगों ने बोला कि आप पढ़िए, आप पढ़ते जाइए, आप बहुत पढ़िए, आप बुक्स से सीखते जाइए जो भी आप सीख सकते हैं. तो मैंने ज़ौक़ का शेर पढ़ा कि अब तो घबरा के कहते हैं कि मर जाएंगे, मर के भी चैन ना आया तो किधर जाएंगे. मैंने और शेर पढ़ा, मैंने बहुत सारे शेर पढ़ा. मुझे ये रियलाइज़ हुआ कि मैं जो पढ़ रहा था मैं वही लिखना चालू कर दिया. मेरा खुद का एक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू नहीं बन पाया जस्ट बिकॉज आई वॉज सो मच इंडल्ज इन रीडिंग ऑल दोज पोएट्री, ऑल दोज प्रोज, वट एवर आई रेड. सो मेरा ये सवाल है कि क्यों ना हम किसी को अगर ये बोलते हैं कि वो पढ़े तो हम उसे ये भी बताएं कि उस बुक से क्या लेना है. हमें उस बुक में फंस के नहीं रह जाना, क्योंकि मैं ये देखता हूँ कि मैं उस बुक में फंस के रह गया. मेरे जो भी ख्यालात उसके बाद आए मैं उस शेर से ही कनेक्ट कर पाया. हो सकता है कि ये मेरी मेरी कमियां हो मुझ में कि मैं नहीं कर पाया ऐसा. बट अक्सर मैंने देखा है जो लोग पढ़ते हैं काफ़ी पुस्तकों को, वो पुस्तकों से ही बंध के रह जाते हैं. और अगर मैं ये कहूँ कि मैंने एक शेर उस मौजू पे लिखा है जो मैंने खुद जिया है, जो मैंने देखा है, जो मैंने अपनी आंखों से देखा है, तो उसको पढ़ के मुझे जो खुशी मिलती है, मुझे वो किसी और किताब को पढ़ के जब शेर लिखता हूँ तो मुझे नहीं मिलती. मैं इस पर आपके थॉट्स
मतलब आपको अपनी पोइट्री ज़्यादा अच्छी लगती है ये, मतलब खैर ऑन अ मोर सीरियस नोट, ये आपको इसमें कोई फिक्र करने की बात नहीं है कि फिर आप वैसा लिखने लगते हैं. इट हैपन्स विद द बिगनर्स. कोई भी काम करते हों, चाहे वो एक्टर हो, तो जब वो एक्टिंग शुरू करता है तो उसका कोई आइडल होता है, तो उसका आपको उसमें झलक दिखती है कि ये, एंड देन ही फाइंड हिज ओन स्टाइल. राइटर्स जो हैं वो इन्फ्लुएंस होते हैं दूसरे राइटर्स से, लेकिन धीरे धीरे आप वो अपना स्टाइल ढूंढ लेते हैं. सिंगर्स अपने सीनियर सिंगर्स को शुरू में कॉपी कर रहे होते हैं, देन दे आप किशोर दा के जो ओरिजिनल गाने सुनेंगे आपको लगेगा सैगल गा रहा है, बट ग्रेजुअली यू आउटग्रो. पढ़ना जो है इसको आप सीखने के लिए मत पढ़िए. ये बहुत ड्राई एक्सरसाइज हो गई, मैं आज ये 2 पेज पढ़ के सीख जाऊंगा. आप पढ़िए इसलिए कि यू आर इन लव विथ पोइट्री, इंजॉय दैट पोइट्री. आप सीखने, मैं क्या सीख रहा हूँ उसकी फिक्र मत कीजिए, वो खुद ब खुद हो जाएगा. यू अप्रिशिएट दैट पोइट्री, दैट इज इम्पॉर्टेंट. एंड इट विल टेक अ लिटिल टाइम. In the beginning, obviously, you will create some heroes, some icons, and they will influence you. But if you keep writing, you will find your own voice and your own style. It will happen. And it happens with everybody, so don't get panicky about it.
So this is the absolute last question. The gentleman with this tie at the end.
The last question has to be of a lady.
Okay, then we'll take his question and then ask a lady to ask.
Okay.
This is the last but one question. And a lady will finish. After all, हम लोग कैफी साहब की बात कर रहे हैं.
She's loving it. She's so thrilled.
Don't worry, I think with this question answer session.
Good evening, friends. जावेद साहब, मैं आपका बहुत बड़ा फ़ैन हूँ. मैं सीधा सवाल पे आता हूँ. मैं कुछ वक्त से लिख रहा था. अभी मेरे को जितना मैं डिसिप्लिन करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ अपने आप को, वैसा मैं उतना फील करता जा रहा हूँ कि मेरी राइटिंग उस कंपार्टमेंटलाइजेशन की वजह से थोड़ी सी निखर के आ नहीं पा रही है. तो क्या हमारे लाइफ में हम ज़्यादा डिसिप्लिन होने का कोशिश करते हैं तो उससे हमारी राइटिंग पे इफेक्ट पड़ता है क्या?
मुझे नहीं लगता है कि आप डिसिप्लिन हो गए तो आपकी पोइट्री पे असर पड़ेगा. आप डिसिप्लिन हो गए फिर भी आप दुख तो महसूस करते हैं, खुशी महसूस करते हैं, आप मोहब्बत महसूस करते हैं, आप तन्हाई महसूस करते हैं या नहीं करते हैं? सभी करते हैं ना. आपके सारे जो इमोशंस हैं, जो फीलिंग्स हैं, जो थॉट्स हैं, वो सब हैं. तो उनमें तो कमी नहीं आ गई ना. ये है कि आप वक्त पे उठने लगे हैं आजकल, सुना है. तो और ऑफिस या जहाँ भी काम करते हैं वहाँ टाइम पे पहुँच जाते हैं. इट्स नॉट सच अ बैड थिंग टू डू, एंड डोंट वरी, इट वोंट डिस्ट्रॉय यू एज अ पोएट.
Okay, the last question, please. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you've been asking for a while. Yes, please go on. That, madam, please ask your question. Yeah.
Okay. So, sir, I have two questions. One is because we are talking about Kathy Azmi. So, my first question is, what do you think about art and artist are binary? And my second question is how to construct a revolutionary romantic relationship as a woman. What do you think about it?
Romantic relationship with a woman
As a woman.
as a
As a woman, how to construct a revolutionary romantic relationship? Because women are disadvantaged and everything.
well, as a matter of fact, I mean, there are many women poets nowadays in last 30, 40 years, you see, then they have written beautiful poems and beautiful poetry. And in Urdu also, there are some female poets. I don't like to use this poetesses, this is wrong. But, a woman poet. There are no doctress. There are doctors.
Or even actress.
That word is rejected, actress. So, वो अपनी जगह है. दूसरा, what was the first part of the question? You see, there is no hard and fast and rule about art and artists. They are all kind of people. There are people who are exactly the way they speak, the way they behave, you can see in their work. Like Ismat Chughtai, who was a great short story writer. And now a lot of her work is translated by Kali. And I hope most of you girls have read that. You must.
Yeah.
When Europe, West had not heard this word lesbian, at that time in 30s, a girl coming from a middle class conservative Muslim family wrote short stories on lesbians.
Yes.
And she was dragged to the court. And her stories about when she wrote about different female characters, those female characters were not doodh ki dhuli. They were not perfect women. They were not just victims. They were very clever, cunning, unscrupulous women also. But somehow she had the power, without sympathizing with the character. She could make you empathize with the character. She was a great writer. So women, whether in prose or in poetry, Quratullah and Haidar, at the age of 30 in Urdu, wrote a novel that starts from Gupta period, a novel, and ends at the partition of India. It covered 2000 years of Indian history, a novel. So, yes, perhaps in till 18th century or early 19th century, women's voice was suppressed, and there were many women who would write under pseudonym of men. But now today, women are writing in such a bold manner and poems which are shocking. I mean, by any standard, but they write that. So, gone are the times when we were missing the female voice, so female gaze on literature.
ये जो शर्ट है कि जावेद साहब इस पे लिखा है हम गुनहगार, ये हम गुनहगार औरतें हैं जो अहले जब्बा की तमकिनत से. जी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. अच्छा चलिए, इनका डिस्कशन है, ये एक आखिरी सवाल.
So my question is, when in love, poetry just flows. When you sort of feel a heartbreak, it still flows. And then it comes to a standstill. Or when there's passion about something, medicine or work or feminism or whatever, at that point it flows and then suddenly it comes to a standstill. And then you want to write, but then it doesn't come. So,
first of all, if a bad poet is in love, only bad poetry will flow. Let me make it very clear. So in any case, the poet has to be good.
Irrespective of whether he's in love or not.
Irrespective of that. Love or anything. But if you say that the poet has become devoid of a cause, of a feeling, of an emotion, good poetry has been defined by somebody. I wish I had done that. Good poetry is a felt thought. If it is only feeling, it will die within no time. If it is only thought, it won't touch your heart. But the felt thought is the ultimate poetry.
Wow.
So, if there is a stoppage, it means there is not passion, there is no thought which is felt, or there is no feeling which is thoughtful, then that's a handicap. That is not the problem of the poetry, but the problem of the poet.
Also, I'll add to that because it links up with your question at the back about discipline and whether you get trapped in discipline. I think it is very, very important for writers, just as a musician, to be disciplined. We are disciplined in a different kind of way. You know, we can't fall in love every day and we can't be sad every day. So, am I going to wait for 3 years to write a new poem? I sit down.
You fall in love every 3 years?
You're distracting me. I sit down, and this is something that I've learned from my novelist friends. They wake up in the morning, sit down at the desk, and just write. So there are times, of course, I'm not able to write a new poem. What am I doing? Every day, I sit for 2 hours with poetry. Every day. It's not necessarily that it'll be morning or evening, but 2 hours in the entire day. Often there are periods of fallow periods where I'm not able to, or I'm not inspired. But those are very useful times because I'm reading someone else's book of poetry, I'm revising my poetry. Revision and reading are equally important to writing of poetry because there are too many poets who write and very few poets read, and even less poets who buy other people's poetry, which is a problematic situation. So nothing is a fallow period. You know, for an artist, singers क्या करते हैं? रियाज तो करना पड़ता है. You know, so if you want to make a perfect sonnet, you have to write 500 sonnets to write the perfect sonnet and then say it is not applicable in an Indian condition. But do it. But people start with free verse. If you don't know the grammar or the tradition, what are you breaking? How will you experiment with something if you don't know the form itself? So that's where the rigor comes. So all this side is important, but this is equally important. But nothing should be a trap.
Thank you very much. बहुत shukriya Javed Saab. Thank you for such a delightful session. Thank you Sudeep for bringing to us this absolutely delightful book, this volume. You know, ladies and gentlemen, the best compliment, the best tribute to an author can be go buy his book. It's available outside. He's sitting here to sign it. Please go and buy the book, get it signed. वो लोग बहुत खुशकिस्मत थे जो इश्क को काम समझते थे. वो लोग बहुत खुशकिस्मत थे जो मैंने नहीं कहा है, फैज़ ने कहा है. वो लोग बहुत खुशकिस्मत थे जो इश्क को काम समझते थे या काम से आशिकी करते थे. हम जीते जी मसरूफ़ रहे, कुछ इश्क किया, कुछ काम किया. काम इश्क के आड़े आता रहा और इश्क से काम उलझता रहा. फिर तंग आकर आखिर हमने दोनों को अधूरा छोड़ दिया. आज हम लोग कैफी आज़मी साहब की बात कर रहे थे. कैफी साहब ने इश्क भी मुकम्मल किया और काम भी मुकम्मल किया. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आप दोनों का.